Andrew Chandler is criticizing the player he helped guide. Chandler calls Rory a liability. Rory builds his own empire. Golf fans reopen an old wound. That timing leaves the golf world stunned because the man described as Rory's former business partner was the manager beside him before fame arrived. This was never an agency switch. Chandler reveals concerns about Rory talking too much, yet McIlroy gave a sharper explanation for why it broke. He felt guided toward a career he did not want. Their relationship collapsed after Rory surrendered his PGA Tour card, skipped the Players, conquered the 2011 U.S. Open, then decided nobody would choose his direction. Chandler said he was shocked. Rory said he had been led down the wrong path. Put those statements together, and the breakup starts looking less like youthful impatience and more like a fight over who controlled golf's next superstar. The detail is that both men can point to Rory's later success as proof that they were right. Tell me honestly, was Rory McIlroy protecting his future or abandoning the mentor who built it? Subscribe, then leave your first reaction below. Now let us examine the decision that turned gratitude into distance. Chandler's version starts with loyalty. He had been present long before Rory possessed the status to build a company around his own name. When McIlroy turned professional in 2007, Chandler's international sports management already understood how to guide elite European golfers through tournaments, sponsorship obligations, travel, and media attention. Rory entered that system as a gifted teenager, carrying enormous expectations. Chandler provided experience that the young Northern Irishman did not yet possess. The arrangement worked. Rory collected his first professional victory at the 2009 Dubai Desert Classic and announced himself as more than a promising amateur. He reached the world's top 10 during 2010, won the Quail Hollow Championship on the PGA Tour, and became part of Europe's victorious Ryder Cup team at Celtic Manor. Every result strengthened Chandler's position. His agency had helped turn potential into international recognition. Yet success also exposed their difference. Chandler's stable contained Lee Westwood, Darren Clarke, Charles Schwartzel, Louis Oosthuizen, and other respected players. Westwood offered the clearest contrast with Rory. He had already spent years competing across Europe, survived a serious decline, rebuilt his career, and reached world number one. Chandler possessed an established champion whose path made sense within ISM's European-centered world. Rory represented a different appetite. America attracted him. Its courses offered stronger fields, larger commercial opportunities, and the platform required for the global career he imagined. His victory at Quail Hollow showed that he could succeed there. Walking away from full PGA Tour membership after that breakthrough therefore created a contradiction inside his career. The decision was not forced upon him. Rory remained responsible for accepting it. Chandler's influence still mattered because young stars hire experienced managers to shape choices before consequences become obvious. Rory later said that spending time around Chandler and Westwood exposed him to their strongly pro-European tour view. His instincts pointed elsewhere, but the management environment pulled him toward a schedule that never felt completely his. Skipping the Players' Championship sharpened that discomfort. The event at TPC Sawgrass carried prestige, ranking strength, money, and visibility. Rory stayed away during a period when his American identity should have been growing. The absence looked like a scheduling choice at the time. It later became evidence in Rory's explanation of the breakup. Then Augusta exposed the emotional engine underneath every business decision. Rory controlled the 2011 Masters for 3 rounds and entered Sunday with a 4-shot advantage. His final round collapsed into an 80. A drive at the 10th traveled near the cabins, and the tournament escaped with brutal speed. Television cameras followed every mistake while the crowd watched a 21-year-old lose control of golf's most famous stage. Chandler remained part of the team around him, but no manager could take those shots or absorb that humiliation. Rory had to decide what the defeat meant. His response revealed the hunger that would define his career. Heartbreak did not make him smaller. It made his target clearer. 2 months later, Congressional became the moment that changed the balance between player and manager. Rory opened the U.S. Open with a 65 and kept extending his lead. He finished at 16 under par, won by 8 strokes, and established a championship scoring record relative to par at that time. The performance carried none of Augusta's Sunday confusion. Rory controlled his swing, the course, and the field. He no longer looked like a young golfer borrowing authority from experienced people around him. The established champion inside Chandler's stable now stood beside a hungry challenger who had developed a larger commercial ceiling. Westwood remained respected and highly ranked. Rory had become the major winner, capable of attracting a different level of global attention. That victory did not prove Chandler had lost Rory. No public evidence identifies one argument at congressional or one private demand immediately afterward. The timing still matters because status changes relationships. Before the U.S. Open, Chandler could speak as the veteran guiding a developing player. After Rory's 8-shot victory, every major decision belonged to one of the most valuable athletes in golf. Graham McDowell supplied an alternative. The fellow Northern Irishman had left Chandler and joined Horizon Sports Management, the Dublin company led by Connor Ridge. McDowell had won the 2010 U.S. Open and shared Ryder Cup history with Rory. Chandler later said he would not be surprised if McDowell influenced Rory's choice, although he did not accuse Horizon of improperly chasing his client. The eventual ending lacked ceremony. After the PGA Grand Slam of Golf in Bermuda, Rory and Chandler reached Kennedy Airport in New York. 4 years of travel and professional growth came down to a conversation in an airport lounge. Rory said he had decided to move on. Their separate flights then carried them toward different destinations and different futures. Chandler publicly described himself as disappointed and shocked. He believed their relationship had earned a different conclusion. Rory offered a restrained explanation about freshening his management arrangements. The deeper accusation had not arrived yet. That silence left Chandler's interpretation in front. ISM had helped Rory become a major champion, and Rory had departed immediately after reaching a new commercial level. From Chandler's side, the sequence resembled rejection following success. Gratitude appeared to have an expiration date. The move to Horizon did not settle every question about management. It merely gave Rory an immediate exit from the system he no longer trusted. His explanation in 2012 finally identified the real fracture. He said the path he had been following was not the one he wanted. His relinquished PGA Tour card and absence from the players were presented as regrets connected to Chandler's influence. The language was damaging because it challenged the meaning of their successful years. Chandler could point toward victories, rankings, and Rory's first major. McIlroy could answer that results did not give a manager permanent ownership over his direction. A partnership can produce success while becoming unsuitable for the person whose name carries the consequences. That distinction keeps the story faithful to the evidence. Rory never established that Chandler wanted him to fail. Chandler never demonstrated that Rory left because greed erased loyalty. Their conflict emerged from incompatible definitions of good management. Rory's ambition demanded a different calculation. He did not want to become another successful European star who occasionally dominated global events. His target involved sustained PGA Tour visibility, worldwide endorsements, and the freedom to construct a schedule around his own priorities. The young challenger was no longer trying to fit beside the established champion. He wanted an operation designed for him. Results quickly strengthened his case. Rory won the 2012 PGA Championship by 8 shots and rose to world number 1. He captured the PGA Tour money title and the European Tour's race to Dubai during the same season. American commitment did not destroy his connection with European golf. It expanded the territory across which he could dominate. Commercial power followed competitive authority. Under Horizon, Rory signed a major Nike agreement widely reported at approximately $20 million per year across 5 years. Horizon later pointed toward that deal and other endorsements when defending its contribution to Rory's business. The golfer who once depended upon a manager's network had become a brand capable of moving enormous sums across equipment, apparel, appearances, and sponsorships. He left Horizon in 2013 and formed his own operation. with his father, Jerry, and trusted associates taking important roles. Rory challenged the management contract, describing it as limiting and unconscionable. He alleged that Horizon had prioritized its share of commissions and that he had been coaxed into signing an extension. Horizon rejected his account, defended the value it had created, and countersued over unpaid fees. Chandler's later comments, therefore, landed inside a very different power relationship. During the PGA Tour's conflict with LIV Golf, Rory became one of the most visible defenders of the established tour. He spoke frequently, accepted public responsibility, and became associated with positions larger than his personal results. Chandler criticized him for acting like a PGA Tour mouthpiece. In 2026, he reportedly argued that Rory talked too much and could become a liability. Online golf coverage immediately returned to their old split because the criticism carried history. This reaction cycle became the modern plot point. Headlines repeated Chandler's words. Social accounts circulated the judgment. Fans divided between those who admired Rory's honesty and those who believed his public voice created unnecessary problems. No verified social media post caused their original separation. Treating one as the hidden trigger would manufacture evidence. The real online turning point came later when Chandler's criticism encouraged viewers to reconsider a relationship that had ended before Instagram and TikTok became central engines of golf debate. The phrase "talks too much" also reaches back toward the quality that drove Rory away. McIlroy speaks when he believes his direction has been mishandled. That instinct created trouble during the LIV dispute because every statement became a headline. It also allowed him to explain why Chandler's preferred route had felt wrong. Rory can identify the benefit. Speaking openly prevents other people from defining his position. The same independence helped him reclaim his PGA Tour career, build his management structure, and choose commercial relationships on his terms. That is why Chandler's criticism cannot be separated from their breakup. He sees a player whose voice can become a liability. Rory built his career around refusing to surrender that voice. The former manager is not a proven villain who secretly blocked Rory's greatness. His agency contributed to Rory's rise and possessed a strong record with elite golfers. The authentic villain in this story is a management philosophy that no longer matched the athlete adopting it. Chandler represented the established system. Rory became the challenger willing to leave it. Their airport separation did not erase Chandler's contribution. Rory's later success did not retroactively make every early decision malicious. The outcome established something more uncomfortable. Two people can build a champion together and still become incompatible once that champion understands the scale of his own ambition. Rory's hunger always grows from heartbreak. Augusta taught him that nobody else could play the final round for him. The U.S. Open taught him that his best golf could overpower an entire field. The Chandler split applied both lessons away from the course. Advice could help him reach the first tee, but ownership of the next shot remained his. Chandler's disappointment still carries weight because loyalty matters. He traveled with Rory before the trophies, global contracts, and ownership ventures. Fans who value that history can view the departure as cold. The airport setting strengthens that interpretation because 4 productive years ended through a short conversation between flights. Rory's explanation carries equal force because careers are short. Remaining on an unwanted path to protect another person's feelings would have placed gratitude above ambition. His PGA Tour victories, #1 ranking, endorsement power, and later business growth show that independence did not shrink his future. The title's promised revelation therefore rests in the collision between those truths. Chandler believed Rory had rejected a successful relationship. Rory believed staying would allow an established manager's worldview to determine his identity. Their relationship collapsed because the player Chandler helped create became too independent for the direction Chandler trusted. That conclusion does not require a secret payment, hidden argument, or invented betrayal. The surrendered PGA Tour card supplies the warning. The skipped player's championship provides the regret. Congressional delivers the transfer of power. The airport conversation completes the break. Rory's later career shows what he believed he was protecting. The golf world keeps returning to this split because it asks a question every great athlete eventually confronts. At what point does guidance become control? Chandler answered through loyalty to a proven system. Rory answered by leaving. If you believe Rory protected his future, tell us which decision proved him right. If you believe Chandler deserved greater loyalty, explain where Rory crossed the line. Subscribe to the channel, join the argument below, and stay with us for the next story behind golf's biggest relationships.